Living every day in your head for free. You can tap away, but I will not hear you scream. You can break your keys, spread your toxicity, your world outside reality. In your room, a little hideaway, but you let it through. Enough to go insane, living in the dark hasn't treated you well. You're building your own prison cell. Hey, wait, don't waste it on me. Spite, life's telling you, don't waste it on me. Did I brush you off? Is it your lack of friends? We never met, even if you pretend. Am I in your debt? I don't owe you nothing. Don't say something you'll regret. Hey, wait, don't waste it on me. Spite, life's telling you, don't waste it on me. Hate, rage, don't waste it on me. Spite, life's telling you, don't waste it on me. Rage, don't waste it on me. Spite, life's telling you, don't waste it. I'm telling you, don't waste it. Life's telling you, don't waste it on me.
Bless you, Tamara. Welcome, everybody, to the Midweek
Bless
Mix-Up
you,
podcast.
Oh,
Covering the Xbox partner preview stream and then a little bit of a podcast afterwards as well. But I'm here with Patcha. Patcha is the lone man standing with us this week. Boxy
Let's
will
go.
be arriving at some point, but he's stuck at work, so we can't obviously do the partner preview. So he'll jump in when he's back from work, and we're here again. How's it going? How's it going? Hope everyone is well. Pat, how are you doing, brother? How has it been?
yeah, it's going pretty good. Besides having an infected eye at the moment, but yeah, it's quite had a busy time. I started working out again, going
Nice.
to the
Good.
gym
Same.
for the last month or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's doing a lot of things, man, and of course some gaming as well. Been into Call of Duty a lot of times at the moment, trying to get the last skin on it.
Yeah.
I'm almost there. Almost, I think around maybe 11 or 12 weapons to do, and then I have all the skins. So yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
been grinding on that. How much different? Because obviously the show's still got a few minutes till the show, so I may as well ask now. How different is Modern Warfare 3 to Modern Warfare 2?
Yeah, of course the maps. You know that's one thing that's different because those are the maps that you remember from back in the days.
Yeah.
Um, but like the weapons and stuff, it's that's a big difference in that actually. Because for me in the beta that I played is that the weapons are like they're really good. You know, like they really improved the way you use the guns and stuff.
Yeah.
Also, the sound of the weapons is way different, of course, but that's with like every game that they do. Um, but yeah, you know, like in the beta, you still had like a few issues. I hope that you know, like in 2 weeks, I think, yeah, in 2 weeks the game comes out.
Yeah.
So they have some stuff to fix, but yeah, you know the most important thing for me is that we're jumping back into the old maps,
Yeah.
and yeah, playing on those maps brings back memories. So that's really cool.
Nice. Nice. Have you been playing anything else recently then, other than Modern Warfare, or has that just got your attention?
Yeah, that really got me attention. Yeah,
Nice. Nice.
yeah.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. So yeah, I've just been playing Starfield, playing Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, which is awesome.
I've seen it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. It
really cool.
yeah, really good. It is a nice addition to the original Cyberpunk. Intrigued on the story. Some action-packed sequences, which is really cool, and performs really well. Looks great, so can't complain on that front. So yeah,
Nice.
it's been awesome.
But is it a free DLC or do you need to buy it?
No, it's 25. 25.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Because it's
because
a
I
full
haven't
on
checked it yet.
a full on
Yeah.
big ol' expansion. It's not short by any stretch. Like I've probably got maybe 6-7 hours in it so far, and I've barely started, I think.
Okay. So basically, it's like a whole new game.
Yeah. You've
Yeah,
got
yeah,
so
yeah.
basically they've transformed part of the city into Dogtown, which is an entirely separate section itself, and it's got tons of side quests and tons of missions as well as the main mission. And a lot of the
Okay.
when you're in between kind of the main missions, it's like, okay, well, to progress further in this main mission, you've got to do a couple of side quests for this guy, so that you're able to do this next section. So like you've got to
Okay.
do him a favor and do a couple of things for him before he'll help you. So you end up kind of
Yeah.
tailing off to that, and then you do the main quest again. And the main quests, of course, are the big show pieces, but the side quests are still quite cool as well. And of course, you get
Okay.
there's car combat in there now. So you can vehicle combat, so you can kind of have vehicles with guns on, or fire out your vehicle whilst driving, or you've got
Oh,
police
shit,
chases
okay.
in there now. You've got tons of new weapons, new outfits, loads of new
Okay.
lots of new stuff to do. So yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
it's awesome. However, the good news for you though is that the update that came out for the original Cyberpunk also includes police chases and the new cars and weapons anyway. So you get that for free.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, you get that for free, and then of course it's Phantom Liberty is the additional story content, etc. So
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool that they. Oh. Yeah, because like I said, like you know, I'm really into the Modern Warfare 2 at the moment because I'm trying to grind these weapon camos.
yeah,
But they also have this hunting event, what actually is pretty cool because I think 3 years ago they had the same thing
yeah,
in Warzone, I think. Yeah, but this is really the first time that I experienced this like hunting event in Call of Duty, and I must say, it's really cool. It's really cool.
yeah,
Also, they have like an event that you need to collect souls and stuff. You can unlock charms and that kind of stuff. But there's actually one piece that you really need to have. I don't know if there are people watching playing Call of Duty, but make sure you collect and save your souls because you will need to have 1,000 souls to get this weapon camo, and this weapon camo looks freaking amazing. And I was happy enough that I didn't spend any souls,
yeah.
and I think last night or this morning actually, I collected. No, last night. Yeah, last night I collected 1,000 souls. So that was the first reward that I opened to get that skin, and it's really cool, man. But also the stuff that they put into the game, you need to fight bosses now while doing Warzone.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's madhouse. It's a madhouse in Warzone, but it's really cool. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how good Call of Duty is this time around, and I hope the story's good because of course a lot of people just like the story.
Yeah.
The online, I don't think there's anything too much different to what we had previously. It kind of feels the same, doesn't it?
Yeah, in some sort of way it does, you know.
Yeah.
But the fact that you have like maps that you haven't played for a long time
Yeah.
coming back,
Like Rust.
that does make like feel like a new game, you know. So, and I'm really curious about because they have like I think 12 or 60 maps that they're gonna have with launch,
Yeah.
and I think 6 of them, or something like that. 4 or 6 of they have new maps. So I'm curious about those.
Nice, nice. Awesome stuff, awesome stuff. Well, we're mere, I would say, seconds away from this thing starting. Hallelujah. Of course, it is a third-party partner preview, so we're going to see the likes of Alan Wake 2. We're going to see the likes of Ark, and a few other games as well. So here we go. We've got the lovely countdown
There you
going on
go.
here. So we've got 1 minute till we start, or just under a minute there. So yes, should be a good evening, hopefully, and it's around about 30 minutes long, so we've got half an hour's worth of trailers. We know about 5 of them, which they've already mentioned there, so it's going to be interesting to see what other trailers are going to be involved. But yeah, it's going to be good. Is there any games
Let's
you're
see.
kind of looking forward to out of these bunch, or have you not really looked at the post to see what games?
Oh no, I totally didn't see anything. So let me surprise me. I want to surprise me.
Awesome stuff.
Like
awesome
always.
stuff. Well, here we go then. We've got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Let's go, guys.
1.
Enjoy.
Yes. Straight into
準備はできてるな春日やるしかねえやってやりましょうや
Never liked that game.
気合い入れてこうぜとりゃよしよしよしよしいい子だ痛い
I'd say it's just as wacky as we thought it was.
Yeah.
Like a dragon in Hawaii. Yep.
Too many street punks getting you down? Time for the getaway you deserve.
Infinite wealth.
Dondoko Island is the destination for you. Welcome to your vacation within a vacation, where a cozy DIY lifestyle awaits. Gather materials from your
No
surroundings.
Nice.
よし
Buy unique furniture,
What?
or simply craft it yourself.
Farming game.
よし
Is this like a dragon?
And watch
Like a
as your
dragon,
dream home
Sims.
unfolds. Just the way you like it.
Yeah.
In fact, you can customize the whole island to your heart's content.
This is not what I expected from this game, by the way.
Make friends with memorable characters.
おはようございます。
Hilarious.
This is definitely the last thing I thought about this game.
Develop your island to accommodate all kinds of tourists. And give them the time of their lives.
Did he just rub his belly?
Yeah.
But beware of certain uninvited guests. You'll have to beat some sense into them to preserve your island kingdom. Explore nature. Build infrastructure.
Oh, this is so
Interact
strange.
with others. And develop your own resort island, your way.
That's a huge term in the game genre that you know of fighting, violence, and
Link is in Jen. The link is in Discord.
Dankjewel.
Alsjeblieft.
Oeh, Power Simulator.
Ja.
Oké. Oh, de makers al. Sham doesn't remember his login details.
No. Pat, if the link on the top of the screen. Oh, there we go, Jen's in. Big Jen in.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, not too bad, getting there. How you doing, lads?
Doing good, doing good.
Pretty good.
Just have to drag it for some reason. And there's Sham. Oh, bloody hell. Oh no. Oh no. 2 seconds while I get this set up quickly. And then we can transition this one over. There we go. Bloody hell, there we go. Oh no, no, I haven't got the bloody... There we go. Jesus. And we're back. Howdy all, howdy all.
Oh, I forgot this event was on today.
Is that not this it's like deep water or something like that? It's something stranded. I don't know what it was showing off at the last showcase, but we only got like a little thing of the oil rig.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure,
yeah, I remember that. No, it's not, I think what Dutch says. Something with deep.
Is it not
something.
stranded?
Stranded Deep, was it? Or something like that?
Yeah.
Something like that.
It looks like Stranded.
Like with all the random sounds and things, it kind of reminds me of like Outlast. Yeah, Still Wakes the Deep, that's the one.
Okay.
I think I'm having some internet troubles because
It seems there will
Brain
be
keeps buffering.
trouble.
Oh dear.
This dangerous new guy in town seems to have his
Next
eye
one's
on doing
Robocop.
business in old Detroit.
Every gang in the city
I do also have like a Twitch stream open at the moment because they've got Twitch drops for Hunt Showdown, so I'm trying to get them.
We need to find him before things get out
That
of
could be the book.
That could be my issue.
Street vultures are the biggest gang in Detroit.
Mr. Spike has become my business partner.
Sophie's meeting the new guy tonight.
Back in the days, I was a fan of Robocop.
Yeah, the originals.
We're getting close.
Yep.
Definitely hear some commotion on the other side.
Justice never sleeps.
I'm not playing any more games! After him!
I have a large supply of bullets.
I ain't scared of you. I'm pumped up with nuke like a freaking power plant.
Then get ready for a meltdown.
What's that noise?
Yeah, I'm
Oh, shit.
Actually looks better than I expected.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it's a game of Nacon, but I've played a few games of Nacon, but it's not it, man. I think the
how many
game would be
bugs it's
better
gonna
if it's
have.
like, yeah, oh my god. yeah,
Hi,
exactly.
I'm Philipp Seifried, Technical Director on Dungeons of
I think the
Hinterberg.
game was better
And
in
I'm
like
Regina
third
Reisinger,
person.
Art Director on Dungeons of Hinterberg.
Dungeons of
I know a
Hinterberg.
lot of you have been asking to see more of the social
No, a
aspects of
Gamepass one, I think,
Hinterberg
as well.
and how the people you hang out with can help you as you progress through the game. So we're excited to give you a better look.
In this short trailer, we will give you a glimpse at how you might spend a typical day in Dungeons of Hinterberg. Decide which overworld to travel to, spend the day slaying and puzzling in a dungeon, and then head back to the village to befriend someone who may be the key to your success.
I love the art style.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that. Borderland.
I wonder if this is like just a single player like dungeon crawler or if it's a multiplayer. I hope it's multiplayer.
gives me a little bit of holy vibes.
Just with a fox and a crow.
Yeah.
Spirit of the North. 2.
Interesting.
I didn't know there was a 1.
Hey, 2. Oh. Game Pass? Nah.
Nope.
No Game Pass. Okay. Interesting though.
Yep.
Like a dragon. What a turn off.
That was so strange.
Yeah. Ooh. New game review. Okay.
Oh, Metal Gear Solid's new
Metal
look.
Gear Solid.
That's a big one.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? I'm watching in 480p.
Wait, what? How did they fucking get this?
Yeah.
I thought this would have been on a Sony showcase or something.
Yeah, you're right, Jen. They announced it during the PlayStation event.
Evening Daz, evening Calorie.
Xbox just went yoink.
Yep.
I can feel a particular PlayStation fanboy crying right now. You all know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to speak his name.
This is looking good though. And graphically, it looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's looking good so far.
Unreal Engine 5.
So it's going to run like shit.
It's going to look beautiful, but yeah.
Going to look really nice, but run like crap.
You have been chosen to govern a land of great peril and promise. It has suffered long from the scourge of banishment.
Chivalry 3?
But there is another threat. An illegitimate baron who claims the northern territories as his own.
Can't be. It's
Will
some
you
form of
prove
RTS
yourself
game or something,
worthy
surely.
of this honor, or will you perish by the traitor's steel?
Coming to PC Gamepass, yeah. It's an RTS. Oh. Is this a competitor for Age of Empires?
This is Empires of Age.
Dash of City Skyline.
Yeah. The Age of Skyline Empires.
Here we go, boys. To arms, man.
Red Alert 1730.
I like having these large-scale battles though, even if you're not like fully, like you can just watch them over the top. Manor Lords. Okay. Easy Game Pass, 26th of April. Nice. Might have to give that a try. Oh, and coming soon to to console. Interesting. Okay, I dig that.
Yeah, that's how they should have it. Have somewhere else to go to see the interview.
That's exactly, yeah, that's what we've been doing the entire thing. I like that approach. It's on Xbox Wire. Go and view that.
Yeah.
Well, this looks like it's up your street, Pat.
Like I say, it looks like gems in this.
Yeah. Yeah, with a purple mask.
I think
Who do I need to sue for seeing my likeness?
Mbox Studios.
There's one. That cash out will take time to complete. Maybe they can destroy their way out of trouble here.
Yeah.
No doubt about it, Scotty. We've got strategies in play.
You can like blow up everything.
Look at this.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a trap.
Yeah, definitely gonna play this. Some Gamepass.
Thought you might.
I seen this, I think, like a month and a half ago or something like that.
The finals.
During the beta.
Okay. Looks interesting. A realistic Overwatch, yeah? I think that's probably the best way of putting it. But with lots of damage. Ah, Arc. The new Arc.
Yeah. Where's Finn?
I think that's him at the front there, isn't it?
He's about to shot.
I mean,
in
it
a really
looks
fast car.
like graphically, it looks vastly improved.
Just depends on what the gameplay's like.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the Fast and Furious DLC for this.
I swear, if they mention family, I'm
damn.
annoyed.
He's gonna get it in there somewhere, you know he is.
That look weird.
This looks vastly different to what I thought Arc was. Fuck that.
Oh shit.
Was that one of them droids from Halo? That roll around? They're not Halo, Star Wars. Fucking hell, Jesus Christ, my brain isn't working today.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah. The attack droids.
Yeah.
Survival Ascended, coming soon. Oh, that's not even Arc 2. It's an entirely different thing.
Bless you.
If they sacked off Arc 2 and turned it into that.
Probably.
The killer left the heart next to the body. This wasn't some random act of
Wake
violence.
2 launch
This
trailer.
was a ritual. A page of text written with a typewriter. Someone's been watching us.
John Wick.
How do you run from an idea? From a story that lives in your head? I need to escape this nightmare.
Do you want to mute your mic or turn the volume down on the TV, Jen?
Wade says the story will change reality around us.
That's not even new, is it? Ah, not Jen. It's Pat. Okay. You're good, Jen.
I don't have any background noise, do I?
Nope, you're good.
Why are we written into the story?
I'm looking forward to Alan Wake 2, with it being a bit more horror.
I brought you the Heart Witch. Show me the terror.
Show me the terror.
Wasn't there like rumors this was going to be in Game Pass?
No, not rumors, closely.
Yeah, definitely people hoping.
Just because it was announced for this show, they were like, oh, it's going to Game Pass. Like, no, not everything comes to Game Pass for the show.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably will
wishful
eventually go
thinking.
into Game Pass, but I don't think it'll launch into Game Pass.
No, at launch, it would have been announced ages ago.
I think they've got enough hype behind it to do decent sales.
Shadow drop.
Yeah. October 27th, 2023. Here we go. Here we go. Gameplay and in-game live action.
The page says the record will open the overlap. Or is the page predetermining it? Am I just playing into the story?
What the hell?
Okay.
I think she didn't
This new Resident Evil looks sick.
Yeah. Why is it like a mirror world? What's that all about?
The characters in like a mirror or something. Right?
Yeah. Like there's a puddle in like halfway in between them.
Where is she?
Yeah, you can see the puddle coming towards you. Oh, come on, you can see that a mile off. God, how tough is this thing to kill?
Still quicker than Spider-Man killing regular enemies.
The song will show me the way.
Look in the mirror, cobweb of my soul, my face forever, seeking to be home, driven by passion, raging like a storm.
The overlap is at the pond. Fuck. Here we go again.
Okay. Alright, one more big game, come on.
I think that pretty much wraps it up, doesn't it? Yeah.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it's a half hour now. Okay.
Okie dokie. Right. So what we'll do, because that's finished now, I'm going to wind it back and play that without the sound. Because Infinite Wealth was bloody strange. There we go. We'll turn the sound all the way down. So, chaps, I think the big one from that was the fact that they managed to get the first look at in-development footage of Metal Gear.
I still find that crazy because it's usually Sony that get that.
Yeah.
But like somebody said earlier, it's like, well, if they maybe it was on Twitter as well, actually. But if they're not actually doing shows, Sony, it's like they still need to get their product out there to people.
Yeah.
You can't always rely on Sony. If they're really anemic with their shows.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want your stuff out and it's coming soon, you can't just go, oh, we'll give it Sony, because they ain't doing that.
Yeah, literally. Like
how many secret shows are they supposed to have had between here and E3?
Yeah. And the last game that they released was Spidey, and that's the only game that they've got first party wise due out anytime soon. There's nothing else on the list.
I said I don't understand why they don't do a third party show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Surely they could, the partner show.
That's pretty weird because as soon as Jen said like it's normally PlayStation should like show this, I remember the PlayStation showcase that they shown something about Metal Gear.
They showed like a cinematic.
They had the reveal trailer
wasn't
for it, but not the gameplay. The gameplay is huge for like Xbox to get that before Sony.
And then it confirms that we're getting it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about, oh, well, is this a timed exclusive? If it's a timed exclusive, there's no way they'd be showing it.
I mean, that comes in good time as well, because yesterday the first volume of the Master Collection of the Metal Gear series came out, and that's on all platforms. You can now play the first Metal Gear Solid on Xbox for the first time ever.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is the worst port ever.
Oh, lazy.
Yeah, that's why I haven't got it myself yet. I'm waiting for that to go down. I'm not buying that for 60.
I think somebody said Metal Gear 3 was, I think it was 2. No, what was it?
I think in GameRank's review of it, he said it was like 720. He locked at 720, which is weird because it should be 1080 from the previous.
But then they also said it was going to be 4K. So it's like one of them was upscaled from 240 to 1080, but they said it was going to be 4K, and it's not. So if it's already been upscaled from 240 to 1080, then if you put it on a 4K TV, it's gonna look like absolute trash. So yeah, that port was just. I mean, at least it's on Xbox, but yeah, God.
I mean, hopefully they don't pull the same thing with the second volume that they've obviously got in the works, which will bring Metal Gear Solid 4 to the Xbox for the first time as well. And finally getting that thing locked off of PlayStation 3, because that's been stuck on PlayStation 3 for years.
Yep. So, yeah. Pretty mad. But at least, yeah, Metal Gear is looking really good in terms of visuals anyway. That definitely look very impressive. Now, I don't know whether you guys caught that first one, but like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, wow. That's not what I expected. That is not what I expected.
You have seen that, guys? Did you see that, Jen or Sean?
I saw a bit of it, not the whole lot.
A bit of it as I was
oh my God.
It's like a world building thing, right?
Yeah, it was like Sims,
a farming game.
Yeah.
Sims, yeah.
Very strange.
Pretty weird though, because I said to Dutch, like that's like a turn in a game genre, is that we know Yakuza is like violence, fighting, and that kind of stuff. And now you need to build and start relationships with people, and what the heck?
Build relationships, look after the world instead of beating everyone up.
Yeah,
that's a huge turn in that kind of game.
Yeah, very strange.
Pretty surprised.
It's not what I expected from another Yakuza, and it's probably one I will not play now because.
I never liked it. I've played like I think one of the 20 games that you have of that. I don't know, man, but it's no, it's not my game. But
yeah,
this is not.
They're also like really tough games as well. The Yakuza games.
No.
At least the older ones are. I've not played any of the newer ones.
Yeah. 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 Sean, what are you thinking of Alan Wake 2? Is that one you're picking up straight away, or?
Yeah. It's out Friday, is it?
Yep. Yep. Friday.
Yeah. So I'll be getting that, which conveniently comes the same day as my new C2 that I've just purchased.
Nice. Nice.
Nice.
Also, the day after, Dead Space dropped into Game Pass.
I already got that on disc, but I do look forward to playing a lot of games with actually good visuals because my monitor it's not bad. It's a 1440p monitor, but it's a cheap monitor.
Yeah.
And with that, you get cheap screen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll be looking forward to going through a number of games. But Alan Wake, it looks like a really good game anyway, visually. So to actually have real HDR and actually having an OLED panel would be very, very nice.
Yes. Yeah. I seen you. It was like a very short deliberation here today. It was like a matter of seconds.
Yeah, it was 10 minutes. I was like, it's a lot of money. I'm not buying it brand new. I'm getting it as a refurb, but it's like an excellent refurb.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much brand new. It's probably, yeah. And I'm paying, I think it's like $760. And I was like, should I get it? I don't know. You know, it's like financially, it's not too bad. I can afford it. I'm not going beyond my means, but I was like, but do I need it? It's still a lot of money. And then I was like, well, I could pay for it over 24 months at 36 quid a month. And then I looked and that's 110 quid extra on top for interest. And then I was like, can I do it interest free? And it was like 3 payments of 250 or 260 or something like that. And I was like, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
fair. I could sell my monitor for 200 to 250, so that's almost a payment, you know what I mean, in itself.
Yeah. Well, that's good then. That's good.
And I've got enough in my savings account that should I come up short sometime, I've got enough to be able to just swap something to my main account. But I shouldn't be coming up well short because I don't really have too many outgoings, so.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So is it is the C2, is that HDMI 2.1?
Yeah, it's got 4 2.1 ports.
Nice. So you've got 4K 120 if you want it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So the main thing I've upgraded for, because my monitor that I've got now has got a 2.1. But obviously it's a 1440p monitor, so I can do 1440p 120.
But the main thing was the OLED specifically.
I think, yeah, because at the moment my monitor doesn't have a speaker. I have to put my headset on every time I go to use it. Yeah, and I was chatting with Esky about it, and I was just like, although it's just sticking a headset on, if I'm watching TV or if I'm watching Netflix or Amazon on my Xbox, or I've got a Fire Stick that may have something that I shouldn't have on it, so I can watch live football. I've got to stick my headset on, and it's like I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit there on my computer with the headset on.
That's what I've got. A Samsung gaming monitor that's exactly like you're describing, but mine's only 1080 120. But it's exactly the same. Beautiful screen, but it has no speakers, and it also doesn't have an audio port, so I have to put headphones on if I want to use it. So, but I've got another monitor that's 4K, which has speakers, but it's also got an aux port, so I plug speakers into that as well.
Yeah, this is me down to a T though, because I was like, you know what, it's doing me head in. I went out and flipping ordered a Sony soundbar.
Right.
So I was like, I want audio. You know, I need audio. It's doing me head in. And then I saw this TV, and I was like, okay, let's buy this TV as well. So I'm getting a Sony soundbar.
Yeah.
As well as the TV.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. So hopefully the soundbar is decent. The reviews gave it, glowing reviews. So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
We'll go back. There's another one here actually that I wanted to kind of cover very quickly before we go into RoboCop. But the new horror game Still Wakes the Deep. What do you guys make of that?
I don't know.
It looks more kind of claustrophobic horror rather than horror.
It reminds me, especially with the noises that I heard, it reminded me of the likes of an Outlast, where you don't actually do the fighting, it's more just the trying to escape.
Yeah, it's more like audio and visual horror rather than combat sort of horror.
Yeah.
You mentioned the game earlier, but one of the best things that I've ever played in terms of the sound is Dead Space.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've heard, especially
Just
the new one.
The creeping and... Like, I've played Dead Space. I think I've completed it like 3 times now, maybe 4. And it's not... It's the expectation of a jump horror that never arrives.
Yeah.
That keeps you on edge. You're expecting something to jump out at you, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
And you just hear kind of things crawling through the air vents above you, and especially with the new one having Dolby Atmos support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the freaky whispering and noises, creaks, and all that shit stuff puts you on like edge.
Yeah, it's like I put in our Twitter chat. That game that I put in the Twitter, can't remember what it's called. But that looks the same. It just scares the living daylight out of me, and it looks amazing. Let me see if I can find the name of it.
But this game could be like something what you said, like Death Stranding. No, not Death Stranding.
Outlast.
Stranded. No, Stranded.
Stranded. I don't think I know that.
It's I think they
Google or YouTube. I think a game called Ill. I think it's only
Oh
on Steam.
yes.
Oh yeah, this 4K. Damn, I seen that. Jesus.
It looks so good in terms of visually. I'd never play it. I would never play it. I would hold my hands up and go, I'm a
Oh, you shared that, right? In the
yeah,
chat,
yeah.
in the group.
Yeah, it's like when I put the poo emoji, it wasn't like it looks bad or thing is just like it would make me do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been following that game for a while, back when it like didn't look as good as it does now.
Yeah.
And it's visually impressive the way they've shown that game off from like early like prototype footage to now.
Yeah, it gives me Alien Isolation vibes in terms of just like, oh crap, I've been spotted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's almost like a hide and seek game, but in horror.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Still Wakes of Deep. I think it'd be a nice experience. Again, being in Game Pass, I'll play it.
Yeah, I'll give it a go. I think it's
more of more of a narrative game anyway, where it's more just a bit like what was that other one as well, where it's Layers of Fear.
That's exactly what I was just thinking of. I was just about to think of a game. I was like, I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
And then you said, yeah, Layers of Fear. It's got that kind of vibe to it. Yeah.
Ain't the Amnesia series like that as well? One of those games where you don't have combat.
Yeah.
People love those games. I've not personally played them myself, but I know people love those Amnesia games.
Layers of Fear was just too glitchy for me because I played like the original version. I think they brought out a newer version.
Yeah.
But the original one, I ended up stopping playing because it was just full of bugs and didn't run particularly well.
Yeah, it was. I played through because it was an easy enough game. Of course, you just walk around and kind of solve a few mini puzzles, and
it's a horror walking simulator, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's not to use it in terms of a derogatory term, but that's what it is. You walk about and you solve some puzzles, and it's based in a horror thing.
Yeah, it's more just telling a horror story, as it were, and you're just interactively walking around
in there for the ride.
Yeah. It's all right. It's good as a story, but you don't have to worry about dying or anything. Like, your death in the game means nothing. You just wake up again.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I'm interested to see it. And of course, the next one I'm not sure about is the new RoboCop.
Yeah, I'm the same. It's like that demo. What they showed there makes it look fairly decent stroke okay, but some other stuff I've seen of it, I'm like, I'm not really sure on this.
Yeah. Like, graphically, it still looks like in sometimes it looks okay, and then other times it looks way outdated.
Yeah, it looks like a past-gen game, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And not a particularly good past-gen game.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't be as bad as that King Kong game that came out recently.
No, I'm sure that's by
that
that
thing looks
notorious indie developer that
it's at
just
least 4
releases
generations
trash.
behind.
That looks worse than the original King Kong game on 360.
Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Is it not by
Do you remember
that stupid developer that did Life of Black Tiger? Is it not the same people? Because I'm pretty sure it looks like it's by the same people.
It wouldn't surprise me. There seems to be, I heard somebody else say this, I can't remember who, is that why are they still a development studio? You get all these good development studios that release a bad game and end up going bust because of a bad game. And then you've got this one studio here that's released this that have done nothing but bad games. It's like, who's funding them?
Yeah. Yeah.
I blame Elon.
Yeah, it's Elon. Elon's funding them all. He keeps paying them for getting views on Twitter.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a bit of a strange one. Dungeon and Hinterberg, I'm quite intrigued in, but I wish and I hope that it has some level of cooperative.
Let me have a look at this because I missed this because I was faffing about with my settings because
I mean,
I have a new I bought a laptop in September and haven't transferred everything over.
Yeah.
Hence why my thingy picture isn't my normal one. I need to find that again.
Graphically, it looks pretty. I like the art style, like that, like pop
art. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Pop art. I like that.
Like cell shady pop art style.
Well, it's clearly not a very good game because it's not lifelike.
Lifelike, realistic. Yeah. But I'm interested to see because, of course, it's a dungeon crawler, but all we've seen so far here, anyway, is just a little bit of traversal. You're going into the dungeons, a tiny smidge of combat, and then more of the seeing the area in the relationship building side of things. But as a dungeon crawler, really, you want to be able to play with your friends. So it'd be interesting to see what they do.
A single player dungeon crawler is not as good.
No. Yeah, it's not as fun being a single player dungeon crawler.
I'm guessing it is single player because I'm sure they would have shown off co-op.
Yeah. I kind of hope, unless they bring it out co-op out afterwards, but I kind of hope they'd have.
Even then.
Yeah.
Just delay it and bring out co-op. I'm tired of games bringing features after.
But it looks, I mean, visually it looks nice. And again, it's going into Gamepass, so...
Yeah, give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it a go, but it don't look like something I'll really stick to for long. I mean, who knows, could surprise me.
Yeah, that's a beauty of Game Pass, though, to be fair, and I think a lot of people will agree with that. I think there is a lot of times that you can just randomly, you're just like, we'll try this little game here and see what it's like, and then you play it and you're like, oh, I actually really enjoyed that. Okay, brilliant. Right, uninstall.
Yeah, there's a couple of games. There was a game like that. I just downloaded it off a whim. It was like Night Driver or something, or
okay.
It was on Game Pass.
Yeah.
It's not on there anymore. It's come off. It's basically you're a taxi driver in Paris.
Right.
And it's kind of like just a really story-based thing, and you're an illegal immigrant there under a false name, and the police know about you, and they basically get you to try and or help them solve a murder or a crime by picking up passengers and speaking to them and finding something. I'm giving a really bad explanation of this game, but it really kind of, when something grips you and you're like, this is actually quite a good game.
Yeah. And that's one of them.
I can't remember the name of it though. Yeah, it just surprised me. I was like, this is actually a really cool game. I enjoyed it. And then it left Game Pass and I was going to buy it and completely forgot.
Yeah. Let's, do you remember the name of it?
No, I'm gonna look it up now.
It might not be that. To be fair, it'd probably be really cheap if it's a nice little indie game. But yeah. So I mean, next one I think is this another indie game that we got up next? Is this the one with a fox? Yes, it is. Yeah. This one, like Spirit of the North. This one was called. This one looked quite intriguing, and I didn't even. This was Spirit of the North 2. Now, apologies to the studio who's creating this game. I didn't realize you had a first Spirit of the North.
No, I didn't either.
Unless they've just gone straight past number 1 and gone to 2, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't need no first game."
Yeah, we'll just pretend we had a first.
Didn't they do that with Goat Simulator? They were like, "No, we don't need to do number 2. We'll just do 3."
Yeah. But it looks quite intriguing, to be fair. And Pat was watching this before, and he said it kind of reminded him of like a big open world, like an Ori kind of ish game. But of course, instead of an imaginary fox, you've got an actual fox and a glowy crow. But it certainly
This
looks
is
very intriguing.
Fox of War Ragnarok.
Fox of War Ragnarok, yeah. That looks. I like the look of that. To be fair, it does look like that is actually set in the Norse times as well. You can see the shield in the background there, with the spear and things. So, and the helmet and stuff buried. Kind of looks like kind of runic things that they've got everywhere. So it's definitely set in that time. But yeah, it looks really cool. Looks really cool.
This game looks really interesting though. Like I said, it gives a little bit of Ori and the Blind vibes, something like that.
Yeah, Lady Foxfire in the chat says Fox of War. This is up your street, isn't it, Lady Fox? You've got a Fox game now. Well, I think everybody in chat will agree we didn't know there was a first. But hats off to them, it looks really cool. And of course, I don't know whether or not it's coming on any other platform, but so far it just says Series X and S. So, yeah, looks intriguing. I'll be playing that as well. What do we get next? Was this a roundup first? Yeah, it was. So, Icaro Will Not Die came second there. That was a good looking game, to be fair. We didn't cover it, but there wasn't really much to say about it, to be fair. And then,
but I think the list that you're gonna see right now on the next one, it shows new game review.
Yeah, that was Spirit of the North was a new game reveal as well. Yeah. So that was a brand new game.
Oh my goodness, I've played so many games. I can't find this game. I've gone down my achievement list forever.
And then, of course, the big one, guys. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. First in-engine look.
Yeah, that kind of interests me. I struggle with Metal Gear Solid because the story just is weird.
Weird and
It doesn't
convoluted.
make sense. Yeah.
It's very Kojima.
No, that's one of my issues with Kojima. Is like it's almost like you get these pretentious people like, well, if you don't understand a Kojima game, then I'm sorry, there's no helping you.
The people that say that don't even understand Kojima games. They're so full of it. I don't think Kojima understands his own games sometimes.
I still don't understand anything to do with Death Stranding. I don't care how much of it I've played. I still
Me
don't
neither.
understand why.
I'm sure he puts stuff into his games just to mock these people and watch them try and justify or kind of explain.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, I just
Like,
did that
still,
for-
does anybody understand why there was like a giant black puddle that covered the earth and you have to carry a baby to see ghosts? Like,
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of like stealth games, they're quite fun. I mean, I know.
Oh,
I'm
very.
incredibly
Yeah,
bad
you have to be
saying this.
super stealthy. Yeah.
I find Splinter Cell obviously a far superior stealth game, but they are still fun stealth games. It's just if you're in it for the story, then you're in it for the wrong game. That's just not the game for you. It doesn't make sense, the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've even tried watching kind of like breakdowns, and halfway through, I'm like, yeah, you've lost me. You've tried to put it in idiot form,
Yeah.
which I clearly am in terms of the game, and you've still lost me.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Still have no idea what you're talking about. But yeah, this did look really impressive. To be fair, I wasn't quite sure when they first showed it off because they were like, "Oh yeah," and this is pre-alpha footage on Unreal Engine 5. Of course, we made the joke that it's going to look great and perform like shit. But so far, of course, we know every game that's came out on Unreal Engine 5 has performed like shit, and that's just because developers are still not really getting to grips with the engine or how to properly optimize the engine. Which is,
Does
I
that
think,
make you worried for things like Gear 6?
Not really. Not with that studio specifically, because I think if anybody's going to get to grips with that engine, it's going to be them.
I get that, but that studio also worked on The Matrix, which looked brilliant, but didn't run very well.
Yeah. Yeah, was that not in? That was in tandem with Epic as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't just them. It was like 10, 15 studios all had a little hand in it.
Yeah.
But I think they were one of the leads just because, I mean, outside of Epic themselves, they are probably the premier studio in terms of using Unreal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that does
absolutely.
give me hope, but it's still kind of.
I think, the thing is, though, I think if anybody's, because of course what we've seen that studio do with Gears has been absolutely insane in terms of performance as well as visuals, because of course they've got it running at 4K. I'm sure they got Gears running at 4K 120 or something ridiculous.
Did they? I didn't know that.
I'm sure they did, yeah. For the online, not the offline, the single player was 4K 60. I'm sure the online, the actual multiplayer was 4K 120 or 2K 120 or something. They got it performing like ridiculous. But that's why. So I'm not concerned with them, but everybody else. Everybody else on that, even Ninja Theory, I think will do okay, because Ninja Theory they're not going to be going for. I don't even know if they're going to be going for 60.
I think there'll be a lot of issues if they don't go for 60.
Yeah, but again, they're going, okay, it's a single player narrative game, so we don't need to. We'd rather push visuals. So it depends on whether or not they give the option. And say,
I agree with you, but I still think they'll catch a lot of heat. I think that's the key word is option. They should get every studio, especially first party, should give options.
Yeah, the Fantosa in the chat does say Gears 5 is 4K 120.
Oh.
So yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Online. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
So yeah, I don't have concerns for the coalition, but everybody else, absolutely, because not everybody else is as adept with Unreal as a platform as the coalition are, regardless.
And when it comes to Konami, I still think they've got a lot of trust to get back from people.
Yeah.
They ruined a lot of trust when they released that terrible Metal Gear spin-off, whatever the
all
that game was. Metal Gear Survive. Whatever that tragedy was, they burnt a lot of bridges with that. And the way they handled the whole Kojima situation, they've got a lot to earn back from fans.
Yeah. I agree. But no, I mean, it's gonna. Let's face it, the Metal Gear there. It's alpha footage, so we're not seeing that for like 3-4 years at least.
Hopefully, I mean, if this somehow comes out earlier than that, I'm gonna be worried.
Yeah. I would hope so. I mean, it looks nice already, but again, it's alpha footage, so it's got a while to go.
So it will give them a good amount of time to get it better and get it running.
Hope that, you know what it is, the problem with studios these days. I think they'd love to be able to have the actual time they want to get the game perfect, but then hierarchy are kind of saying, listen, we can only give you so much time. Like, there becomes a point where this game needs to release, and we have to start making money on it because financially we need
the
to.
investors are needing their money.
Yep. And they need the money, of course. That's what I'm saying. It's bosses, it's shareholders, and things like that. And the likes of your Konamis and all of these large independent companies are the ones that are pressurized to release games quicker and push them out with issues because they have those things to worry about. The likes of Xbox now have shown, listen, we're not going to push a game out until it's ready. They did that with Starfield. They pushed that out, way out. They extended it, and it launched. And granted, there's still bugs in Starfield, but there is nowhere near as bad as it could have been. It's so much more polished. I mean, that is the most seamless and bug-free Bethesda experience I've had from a Bethesda game ever. Like, it was pretty smooth sailing when that launched. I didn't have any issues. None. And if that's the way Xbox and Microsoft are going to do things now, which is where they're saying, listen, just release it when it's ready. We don't care about the timescale thing because we can shoulder that burden and just make sure the game's good and it runs well. Of course, we saw the Redfall thing, but they held their hands up and said we didn't support them, and that's our fault. But we're making sure that any other studio and any other game going forward is going to get that full support that we didn't give Redfall. The problem is with the likes of Konami and the likes of Ubisoft and things like that, is they're just more concerned about appeasing shareholders than getting games out as they should be. So it's a case of fingers crossed. Next one intrigued me. I don't know whether or not, Shom, are you a big RTS guy or not?
No, not massively. Maybe when I was younger. Same with RPGs. I used to, especially like JRPGs. Growing up, I used to love playing them. Like, I can't remember them. Like Sega games and things like that. But I don't have time these days because they're all hundreds of hours long, and there's too many games coming out.
Yeah. I mean, Man of Lords. It's a nice. I didn't know about it. I'd never heard of it before, but it looks pretty nice. To be fair, it's a bit of an in-depth, and it kind of gives us a kind of a Command and Conquer-esque Age of Empires kind of feeling to it, which is nice. I didn't expect to see it, but I like the large-scale battles. I love large-scale battles like that, and that's the only thing about Age of Empires that I wish that they had, is the ability to have, on these giant maps that you have in Age of Empires, is to be able to have more than like 200 or 500 units, because then the wars don't really last that long. Like, you can gather an army and then you go to war and then that's it. Everyone's dead. Like, what I'd prefer to have is like an Age of Empires where you can go to battle with literally what would, in historic terms, have 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 units, which is what big historic battles used to be. Used to be tens of thousands of soldiers with archers and swords and shields and everything all lined up and going to war.
Okay,
not 200 people.
Not to go into my history nerdy stuff, but
Yeah.
it depends on how far you're going back, because when you're talking like War of the Roses, there weren't actually that many people involved in battles. You're talking about 100 at most on each side. But I get what you're saying. To have these massive epic battles, it looks visually better.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, but when you think about kind of the invasions, like for instance, the invasions of the Romans and the invasions of the Nordics, like these you're talking thousands of troops on either side fighting each other, and that's what you kind of have to think about, especially like when you're talking about the Britons trying to fight off the Nordics. When the Nords had half of England and had to take them back again, it was tens of thousands of troops at that point. So I'd love to see that kind of scale, and hopefully going forward it's going to be like that, but we'll see. But it's coming to Game Pass on PC and console, so it's going to be interesting to try it out. See how many troops you can actually have in a big fight. It looks quite in-depth, so it's going to be interesting. What was the next one? We'll see it pop up again here. Oh yes, the new one for Pat. The new shooty game by Embark.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about this one, Pat? You're our resident FPS guy.
Well, like I said before, like I seen some of the big YouTube and Twitch streamers playing this actually. I don't know if it was like a beta or it was like some kind of tournament that they were participating in.
Yeah.
But it looked really, really good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this kind of game. Yeah.
Yeah, trying it out. It certainly looks intriguing. Definitely. Obviously it looks like it kind of looks like on part of it, it's not just a battle royale, which it obviously is. But it also looks like kind of like a payday where you have to kind of get the cash or get everyone's loot off them. So it's a bit like on Warzone where you have a certain amount of cash and then you can steal people's cash and go and level up and buy new weapons or get people back into it and things like that.
Yeah, one of the gameplays that I've seen is that you have like an objective that you need to capture.
Yeah.
So for example, the big like the big box that you see in this trailer, you need to capture that, and I think you need to hold it for like a good amount of minutes or something like that. You need to defend something. So yeah, that like I think it's a pretty hard game, because I see some people struggling also with this game. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting game.
It looks like it's round based then when you go in with your team and you have to try and, again, why it's called the finals, you have to go and try and reach the final in order to get there.
Yep.
So, yeah, intriguing. And it's up open beta. I don't know when that's officially launching, but it's an open beta so people can sign up for it. Well, sorry, a closed beta, but people can sign up to it and play. So, might give it a shot. Might sign up, see what it's like.
I'm gonna check right now.
Next one we had, which I don't think is Arc 2. I think it's just a reimagining of the original Arc, which is Arc Ascended or Ascending. What does everyone make of this? It looks good.
I'm not interested in Arc. I played the first one and was like, meh.
Yeah, the first one was like performance-wise, dog shit.
Meh is being kind.
Yeah, that's yeah, really bad. I still remember when they I think they tested it. What was it? What platform was it? Digital Foundry tested it on. Was it the Switch where it was like running at like less than 6 frames or something at some point?
It wouldn't surprise me. Even on like the Xbox, it ran less than optimal.
But this graphically looks really like much improved over the first Arc. Performance-wise, judging from this, it looks like it runs okay, but it depends on how many people's in the server and whether or not maybe in Arc Ascending they've just reduced the server amounts, because you could get, I'm sure in Arc you could get kind of hundreds of people into a server at any one point. I think if they want stability in the game to run properly, they might need to reduce that amount. So it depends on what angle they're going for in this Arc Ascending. Do they just have it where there's only maybe a maximum of 30 people in the server at any one point and just focus on whatever's going on around you? Or is it more of a co-op experience where you're kind of just playing with your friends against the open world? Or
I think it's more like an open for like a co-op.
It looks like
because
co-op.
I seen Hertog Finn playing this game also recently. I think with his wife, because his wife is playing this game a lot.
What, Arc?
Yeah, she does. And I think Finn is playing with her, because
Right, okay.
I think so.
Well, Vinny might like this one then.
Oh yeah, I'll bet he do. Yeah.
So we'll see. We shall see. It looks intriguing, but I'm still waiting for Arc 2 to see what that's all about with Vin Diesel. So
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he's no longer attached to that game.
Yeah, it's been very quiet, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has been. It's been really quiet, and that's what I think people are just thinking, very strange. What's going on with it?
Never played Ark, never wanted to play Ark. I've seen footage of it and it weren't really up my street, so I'm not all that interested in
It's
it.
like a dino crafting Rust game.
Rust is also one of them games I played for about 5 hours and gave up because I just didn't get on with it.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. I completely understand that, to be fair. Last but not least, Alan Wake 2. Who's excited for this one? Sharm, I know you are. What's your thoughts on Alan Wake 2?
In terms of visually, that's a huge step up from the first, which is, I mean, quite obvious considering when the first came out.
Yeah.
But it's not exactly hard to really... I can't remember what I'm saying. With Remedy, they are good at making games visual. I just hope it runs well.
Yeah.
Because they do tend to fall at that point.
I think they've said, and I know they have, because they came out beforehand saying the visual. They've got 2 modes. They've got visual and performance. Visual is with all the big lighting effects and everything they've got in the game, and that is 4K 30. But they do have a performance mode at 60 as well. Some of the lighting features have been dumbed down a little bit, but they've said they've tried to do their best to make it look as good as it can be to make sure it runs at 60. So you do have options. So that's...
I'll have to play at the performance then, because Control,
yeah,
if you put it into the visually nice one,
yeah,
the 30 frames it's like it's disgusting. You can really tell it's 30 frames. Like some games, it's like it's 30 frames. You know, most of us have grown up on 30 frames.
yeah,
And for ages, I was like, I can't really tell. But then when you start to play 60, and then go back to 30, you can tell. But with Control, you could see the jutter so bad. Like the game itself ran okay, but when you were turning the camera, the juttering of the 30 frames was so noticeable. I don't know why. I don't notice it that bad in other games that are 30.
yeah.
So if it's like that, then I'll have to play in performance. And then what I did is then if I want to take a nice little screenshot, I go into ray tracing thingy, and then
Yeah.
take it, and then
quickly switch
go
the
back
modes
in the game. Go back, yes, switch mode, because that's the good thing that they did do is like you didn't have to leave the game. You could do it in menu, and it would then do it.
Yeah.
Whereas some games I've played is that you have to then leave the actual game for it to enable.
Yeah, yeah. I do like the ones that allow you to just change it there and then without having to full restart.
Yeah.
It's always appreciated.
So, but yeah, it looks suitably freaky. I'm not quite sure I've made my mind up about, like you said, that floating puddle.
Yeah.
That seems odd.
What do you make on the fact then that they've definitely on this occasion they've definitely went more horror. They've definitely leaned more horror than the first game. I think a lot of big Alan Wake fans as well are like, I don't want it to be a horror game. Like I want it to be like this creepy thriller kind of game with a few little horror bits in, but I didn't want it to be full on horror. But this time around they went a bit more Resi Evil horror.
But then they're weird because the whole thing of Alan Wake is a horror.
Yeah.
He's a horror author.
Yeah, exactly.
In a thing, and it's just like you're talking about shadow creatures. That's pretty horror. If
Yeah.
you think that in a film, that's a horror.
Yeah.
I don't really want an action-esque type thing.
Probably they went all out with this game.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think I never played Alan Wake, so.
And I don't even know if it is any different to the first. I think just with this is you've got more powerful hardware that you can do more with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they've said they have leaned more into horror for this one than the previous.
The first one was more psychological horror, wasn't it?
Yeah. Whereas this one's definitely more arching on jump scares and things as well. Like 100%.
I just think they can make things look more disgusting. When you think of the first one, everything was like you had 5 or 6 enemies.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just 5 or 6 enemies. It was mostly just shadow people on this. They've kind of just went, like you say, they've leaned more into the disgusting as well as the shadow people.
Yeah.
What do you make of having 2 perspectives this time around, 2 characters?
I think it's a good idea. I think it's nice to have a different perspective, especially when she's the is it partner, or she's related, not related, but you know what I mean, she's connected to the original FBI agent who was gunning after you the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she's obviously going to come in having this preconceived idea of who he is. And then I'm guessing that will then change over the course of the game to actually understand what he's going through. Yeah.
And I like the fact that they're kind of saying, like, what you wrote in these books is what's kind of coming true or what's happening. So, like, what do you know? Like, is this something that's happened before, or are you making this happen? Like, what's going on? I like that kind of cross-examination, and it makes us intrigued on how these characters are going to meet in the story. Like,
I actually need to finish the DLC for the first one, because I bought the thingy version, not the update, you know what I mean, the remaster that came with the DLC, and I completed it. Never actually got round to doing the actual DLC, because you know when you just play the games, like I've had enough of that for now, and then I never went back to it.
See, I never got the remaster of Alan Wake 1. Was it worth it?
Yeah, because visually everything's updated a bit, not obviously to modern standards, but there is an update. I think it runs at 60 now. And it'd been so long since I played it. I was like, you know what? I enjoyed it the first time. Then it's still going to be a good game. Yeah, and just more of a refresher.
Controls wise, what was it like? Was it any better on the controls, or was it there or thereabouts?
I think it was there or thereabouts. I don't think they really did much. But it wasn't. It didn't. I wouldn't say it was a badly controlled game in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not talking about Res Evil 1 and 2 versus the newer ones where you move on the spot and then you can run around in the new versions. I don't really recall it being tough to control.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody else can say that about that, but I don't recall it being a bad game in that sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe it's a lot of people I think they imagine the game played better than it did at the first time round, but then of course some of these games don't, controls wise, there's only so much you can do to kind of improve them when it's just literally a remaster of the first, because that's what it was. It was just a remaster of the first game. It wasn't a remake, so they didn't do anything to the controls to change them up. So I think it's just legacy controls, a bit like when you go back to playing Fable.
Yeah.
Like, it's as much as they've had this nice 4K HDR 60 package chucked on them by Xbox for free, they're still controls wise are a wee bit outdated. Feels a wee bit clunky, but no, I'm looking forward to Alan Wake 2. I'm definitely looking forward to it. But again, I also haven't played Dead Space Remake, so I'm super looking forward to playing that.
That's how you do it. Same with the Dead Space, Res Evil. That's how you do a proper remake.
Yeah. So it's not, and that's dropping tomorrow, I do believe. So I'm debating, because I'm going to do a Halloween stream on Tuesday on Halloween. So I'm debating playing maybe Dead Space on stream, because that's a big old jumpy game. I put the headphones on for that as well.
I think the sound is just as important as the visuals in that.
Yeah. I think with any horror game, to be fair, I think the one thing every horror game needs to nail is the 3D audio, because it makes such a big difference.
Yeah, definitely.
Such a big difference. Jen, what do you think of Alan Wake 2?
It looks right up my street, but right now I've just got so many bloody games to get through. I've still not completed Hogwarts. I've still not completed Star Wars. Still need to complete Spider-Man, but at the moment Hunt Showdown's got me.
Again, you're hooked again.
I'm still hooked on it at the moment. Playing that with my friends. So like when I'm not playing that, I'm just easily going through Spider-Man. I'm about halfway through that. I'm not rushing to get through that or anything. I think my days of rushing through games are done. I'm just going to slowly try and get through games nowadays, just because I feel like I get burned out on those games too easy if I get right into it too quick.
Yeah.
And I don't tend to soak those game stories in much if I push through. So I get to the end and I'm like, what actually happened in this game that I liked?
Yeah. Like, it's a bit like me with Jedi. Like, I was playing, you stopped in the other day, and I'm pushing through to finish that now, and I'm not I'm paying attention to the story, but it's not really sinking in. So I'm enjoying the game. I'm enjoying the combat. Of course, some of these the parts that I'm up to where you're like super high up, and you're like, there's massive amounts of like falling a bit available to jump off things. That's kind of vertigo inducing, but it's cool. I'm enjoying it, but as you've mentioned, if you don't kind of just sit there and enjoy it in your own leisurely time, and you just try to push through to finish it, you sometimes kind of miss the story a little bit.
Yeah. I've found that a lot recently, that I try and breeze through game stories. Like even Starfield, I breezed through the story for that so quick, and I wished now that I'd taken more time with it.
Yeah. See, I've just done the story. I've just finished the story on Starfield, and now I'm in New Game Plus 1, and now I'm just chilling out. I've went down the option on New Game Plus 1 to not join the Constellation and to just find the relics. So you have the option where you can join Constellation again and just redo the entire story.
Yeah, you can just skip past that, and they like gather,
just do other stuff. So
they gather artifacts for you while you're gathering the other remaining artifacts.
Yeah. So that's what I've chose to do, because it's different. It changes the game up a little bit. Then you have a different objective, and you can still do all your side quests and stuff like that again that you haven't done. So that's what I'm doing. I'm a little bit disappointed on the ship that you get though.
So I think each time you New Game Plus, you get a faster, more powerful ship and a better suit.
Yeah.
At least that's what like a lot of people have said, and I haven't done it enough to know whether that's true.
Yeah.
But
I don't think it
apparently you get the best suit after your 10th New Game Plus or something
bugger
like that. I don't know if that's true.
There's absolutely no chance I'm New Game Plus in 10.
No.
I did it twice, and I was like, okay, I'm done with this now.
Yeah, nope.
You don't know because it's like, especially when the expansion comes out.
Yeah.
I think that's because I'm a bit like you. I didn't rush to it, but I booked my birthday week off.
Yeah.
From work, and it just so happened it then came out on the Friday.
Yeah.
So I totally binged it. I did my first playthrough. I did everything. I did all the factions, the main story, and then I started a New Game Plus, and I was like, I don't know if I can be bothered now. But in the space of a week, I think I played it 3 or 4 days. So I totally burnt myself out on it.
Yeah.
I think the most deflating thing about New Game Plus, though, is you leave everything behind. Apart
Yeah.
from your powers.
I would
And that
like
kind of sucks if you've done it everything and you've got all these cool weapons and pieces of
Yeah.
armor, and you
The
have to get them
weapons
all
were good
again.
for me. I managed to, the mission where you go between the two realities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before you actually go properly into to try and save the guy or do whatever, you can speak to the security guard, and he gives you a prototype weapon, which is amazing. It's such a good weapon.
Oh.
And I lost it, and I was like, oh, well, I really like that weapon, and now I can't get it. Great.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, speak to him, the security officer, the main security officer, before you actually go into doing the proper thing.
Yeah.
And they'll give you I don't know if it's a shotgun. I think it might be like a prototype shotgun, but it is brutal. It one-shots all the enemies in there.
Yeah, it's the only thing about it that I don't like is that you literally lose everything. Like, I wish you'd retained the ability to like keep your ships, or keep your bases, or keep your weapons, or whatever it was, because you're still the same level. You still got all your powers. You still got all your perks. It's like, okay, you may as well just let we have our weapons and our ships, because that's not going to do anything really. And you've got to like I can understand if they say, "Oh, you've lost your money." You're like, "Oh no." Well, at least I've got all my weapons still, but like you start the game with nothing, a gun, like a handgun.
I'm guessing we've all completed Starfield now, all of us.
Apart from Pat, yeah, all of us we have.
I won't say it then.
I haven't completed yet. No.
Yeah, I won't say it then.
That's what I always say is that in a big open world game,
yeah,
I'm getting lost in quite some stuff, and then I think, okay, nah, I don't want to play it anymore.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna hop back into the games that I normally play, so Call of Duty and stuff.
I was gonna say you're gonna hop back into Call of Duty.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think what I like about the new Game Plus is that there's certain storylines or side missions you come across, and there might be somebody who betrays you or says something, and because you've done that before, your guy goes, "Yeah, you're not going to do that," and then they kind of go, "Oh, right, yeah, okay," because you've already experienced that thing, so you have that knowledge rather than falling for it again. It's that happened with the Mantis mission. The guy that tries to betray you at the end of that, you just like, no, you don't do that. You try and betray me. He goes,
I didn't let him betray me in the first place. I just shot him. I was like, yeah, fuck that guy.
But yeah, so New Game Plus for me anyway is my time to just chill, finish up all the different factions and side quests, and then look into outposts and collect all those steal 10 ships and things like that. So I'm just going to take me time on New Game Plus 1, and that's going to be my only save then. I'm not going to kind of try to finish it. I'm just going to just leave it as is. And that's just going to be
Have you done all the factions?
I've done the majority. Now, on the first one, I ended up being on the pirate side when you go against the what do you call them? C-Sec or something?
C-Sec.
Yeah.
Yeah, that officer, that guy.
Yeah. So I ended up being on the pirate side and having a war against them and killing all them. So I didn't do.
In my opinion, that's the best story in the whole game. That's better than even the main story. I love that faction.
Did you?
I think that
see, I like the alien one. Where you had to. It was kind of a more like there's this alien menace coming along and you have to fight them and you have to figure out what's going on there. I like that, but I wish that mission was a bit longer.
Which faction is that?
It's like one of the first ones you do where you have the.
Oh yeah. It's the when you first speak to the guy and he tries to recruit you, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And you can choose to get recruited or ignore. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, and then you have to
I
find
think
out what's.
that,
Go on.
I think that's the part where I stopped playing. Is that I needed to fight against the officer. He comes to this pirate, the place where the pirates are.
Yeah.
And I think that's the part where I stopped because my ship wasn't like strong enough because I kept dying all the time. I replayed that mission so many times and I was like, God damn.
I had a really strong ship as well and I struggled with that.
No. But yeah, I think that's the part where I stopped playing it. But I'll jump back into it. So
yeah, I mean, it's a good thing about
Gamepass has like subtle differences.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say you can just take your time on Starfield. There is literally no rush in in playing it. You can just do a little bit at a time. It's a game that's going to be around for decades, man.
yeah, of course.
One of my favorite ships was, at the beginning of the game where you're trying to find somebody who's using the what they call the
Mantis.
You put together. No. Mantis is a good ship, but what you're collecting.
There's the artifacts.
Yeah, the artifacts. The first artifact you find, the guy's using it as an ornament, but you need to kind of slowly sneak towards a satellite to try and find out where he is.
Yeah.
Those three ships that will hunt you if you go too quick, if you rob one of them, they're really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, those space zealots. The snake worshippers.
Yeah, them lot. The ship that they have, as you get further in the game, and you can with the upgrade tree, you just stick some more boosters on and some weapons, and it turns so quick.
Okay.
So that I can't remember the name of the ship, but I found that and was like, yeah, this is my base ship now.
Yeah. I've seen another one as well where it was for what's the Stroud Eklund, where you can, if you go all the way through dealing with them, they kind of give you money to make a ship.
Oh yeah. When you have to help them R&D a ship, don't you?
Yeah. I haven't even done that, but I've seen somebody streaming that, and they got given like a bunch of like pretty much infinite money to build whatever they want.
Okay.
I didn't get to the end of that. I ended up just finishing the playthrough because I forgot about it because it wasn't particularly an interesting storyline.
Yeah.
But if
that's pretty much what they do. They're just like and then you can convince them to like just have like unlimited funds for the ship build, and they're like, oh, I don't know how to do it. And if you convince her and you like coerce her into it, she'll go, okay, yeah, I think I can pull this off. And then she convinces the board to give you unlimited funds to create a ship. So if you've got like all your ship perks really high by that point, where you can create like the Class Cs with like 8 crew or whatever, then essentially you can just build the biggest shit in the game because you've got infinite funds.
I spent so much on building my ship.
Yeah, same, and now it's gone.
Exactly, that's what I was annoyed at. I'm like 300 grand on this, and now I've walked through to the new game.
I was kind of deflated as well.
I was hoping at least my weapons would be in my locker.
Yeah. But nope.
You don't keep anything.
Nope.
I don't even think the ship that you get is that great. And maybe
No,
it's
that's
because
what I
it's
was
New
just
Game
saying
Plus
before.
1.
It's pretty terrible. And Jem was saying every time you
maybe
do a
once
new
you
game
get to
plus,
10.
it gives you the ship again, but it's more powerful, and then another ship.
Maybe
and
when you get to the higher levels of them, it's a decent ship. But your suit and your ship, I was like, it's all right. It's nothing.
Yeah.
Special.
Yeah. And even the weapons you get, the weapons are like, eh.
Yeah, and you can't even upgrade or customize your.
Well, that's the thing. You know what it is? The funny thing is about before you do New Game Plus is you finish killing the Starborns, right? And then they drop all their weapons, or at least you don't have to kill the Starborns. You can choose to side with one of them if you want. But you get the weapons, and then the game starts over again, and then you lose the weapons. You're like, why?
Why did I even pick up this?
Why did I get the like super
that's
limited,
weird,
like exotic weapons that they've got that are like super powerful, and now then you start the game again? You lose them immediately. I'm like, what?
That's weird. That's weird.
What is going
Yeah,
on?
it is literally you get that weapon and then you can go into a New Game Plus.
Yeah, and then you lose the weapon.
Yeah.
Why?
I hope they fix that. I hope they do add something that allows you to at least bring everything forward with you. Because that sucks if you're someone that's a completionist and you've got every little suit, every little thing, and then you go, I'm going to do a New Game Plus now, and you get to the other side and you're like, where's all my shit gone?
Yep. Weird.
Now I know I'm not gonna finish this game.
Yeah, I just didn't see a point. Specifically, that end part where you get the Starborn's weapons. Both of them have got really high level, like epic weapons. Not even epic. They're like what are they called? Legendaries. Really high level legendary weapons, and then you can't use them because the game fit is literally like the second you've done that, you go towards the end of the game. You go through the portal, and then that's it. Gone. It's all gone.
That's why I put in the group chat. So don't focus on the side missions and just focus on getting the story done. Get through New Game Plus and then focus on doing everything.
Yeah, I was like,
You'll
oh
lose
my
it all.
god, I can't believe I've got these brand new weapons and now they've just disappeared. Why? I didn't even use them. Oh, but hey. Speaking of Starfield, or whilst we're on that, reports out from the financial side of things with Xbox, because of course the Q1 reports. Now we don't want to focus on the financial side because I don't really care about that. It doesn't affect me. But Starfield has hit 11 million players. It also had the record for biggest amount of Gamepass subscriptions in a single day when Starfield launched, just to play the game. And of those 11 million, just over half of those players were on PC, which means of which half of those players were also on Xbox. So you're talking about thereabouts 5 million on Xbox, 6 million on PC, which is big going for them. Huge, and 11 million players is massive. Massive.
And talking about massive numbers, Forza Motorsport as well. Forza Motorsport is off to a fantastic start, in part thanks to Game Pass. Forza Motorsport beat the series' previous day one player count by 300%.
Jesus Christ.
This makes it the largest launch in Forza Motorsport history.
Nice. 300% bigger than the previous launch.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Jesus.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's one of the best motorsports I've played as well, so...
I like it, to be fair, but the good thing about motorsport, and I think a lot of people will agree as well, apart from Daz, who's like blitzed it and he's finishing his last achievement as we speak.
Last achievement, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't be bothered with that. It's like level up 45 billion cars to level 50. Nope. I've taken in bite-sized chunks. With sim racers, I'll do one like competition, where it's like, do this competition. It's got like 6 races in it. I'll do that, and then I'll turn it off. I'm like, right, okay, that's my fill of motorsport for the day. That's how I'll work it. I'll just work through it like that. So eventually I'll finish the game, but it's low possibility that I'll level up that many cars to level 50. Not a chance. Nope.
But it goes pretty quick, though. It goes pretty quick because, for example, if you do like one race, I think your car levels up like 5 levels or something in one race.
Yeah.
So it goes pretty fast. I don't know how it is when when you get much further into the game.
Yeah.
But at the start, yeah, the car levels goes crazy fast.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's we'll round it up now actually, because it's we've been on a couple of hours already. We've covered off the partner preview. Of course, so they showed off Like a Dragon and Infinite Wealth, which was vastly different to what I ever imagined Like a Dragon to be. Did not expect it to be Sims. But, there we go. Akiro Will Not Die, a new indie game by Thunderful. Still Wakes the Deep, a new horror game that kind of looked like Layers of Fear / Outlast. Basically a walking horror game that's more story-driven than it is action. Robocop Rogue City gameplay. Dungeons of Hinterberg gameplay / relationship building side of that game. Spirit of the North reveal, which looks quite cool. Metal Gear's alpha gameplay footage, which looked quite good. Impressive so far, but we talked about the Unreal Engine debacle that we kind of don't know whether or not it'll be performing well. The finals, which looked quite cool. I think Pat's intrigued on that one and looking into getting into the beta. Mana Lords, which to me looked really cool. That was again a little bit of an RTS city builder with the big army battles, so you can generate an army and go to war. So that's going to be interesting. That's in 2024 and coming to PC Game Pass first, and then later to consoles. So that's going to be intriguing. Ark Survival Ascended, which looks visually better than Ark has ever done, but again, performance-wise is left. We'll see. And then tailing off with Alan Wake 2's launch trailer and a little bit of gameplay footage. So, what do you guys think of that tiny little third-party preview then? Preview showcase. What do you think of it, Jen?
As much as what I really expected, nothing huge. Apart from like the Metal Gear thing was the biggest surprise for me. Now that I remember it,
yeah,
forgot about that for a second. Yeah, I'm looking forward to a few of those games. Probably won't get Alan Wake when it comes out because too much to play at the moment.
Yeah,
but I'm going to get around to them. There's a few Game Pass entries there that I'm going to try. But yeah, it's a pretty decent show for a partner show.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was. To be fair, I wasn't expecting that many. I didn't expect a new Dungeon Hinterberg was going to be there. I was kind of hoping to see a little bit more of the combat around it, but we saw a little bit more of it than I'd ever seen before. So it's a nice little taster of what I kind of expect next year. Still Wakes the Deep. I'm intrigued to see that, mainly because I like the Layers of Fear and things like that. It was more of a, like to say, you don't do much, you don't do anything in them. They're just an experience. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And Mana Lords for me as well was quite intriguing. Sean, what about you? What did you think of the show?
Like Jen said, what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting any big major announcements. I was surprised there wasn't more kind of coming to Game Pass, but not everything has to come to Game Pass. I think people need to get over every third-party partner being in Game Pass. But yeah, I think it was solid. At least those are games that hopefully, if they do a thingy in December, a showcase, that they won't be there because they don't need to be there. So it's just freeing up space for other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's right. That's right. And it's, what it is, it's with and there's another thing actually as well. Thinking further, we've still got the Game Awards, which isn't too long away now. It's like just over a month. I was surprised that
that's going to be huge. That because it's the 10th year anniversary of the Game Awards, so I expect big things.
I'm surprised that Xbox managed to get not just over PlayStation, but managed to get Metal Gear over the Game Awards.
When's it due out?
Oh, well, Metal Gear. Oh, it doesn't even have a date.
All right. I was wondering whether it was due out in and around the time, whereas that they'd want to get
big publicity
beforehand. But if it's a release date, then yeah, I'm surprised it didn't.
Yeah,
I can see why though, because Jeff Keighley was very vocal around that big breakup with Konami and Kojima.
Mm.
And he spoke out on stage at the Game Awards about how they were treating him. So I can see why they
that's
won't
fair.
show things there from Konami.
Yeah, that's intriguing. And Paul in the chat there says, did you see that Alan Wake 2 is actually using mesh shaders? Would expect the performance on Xbox, a decent performance on Xbox. That I didn't know it had mesh shaders or the use of mesh shaders. Let's hope it has good performance on Xbox if it does. And then that'll be intriguing to see how it does. But they have said they've refined it so that you get a good performance mode on that game. Originally they weren't going to do one, but then they've seen that they actually had the overhead to do so. So they created a performance mode on the back of the fact that they had performance on the back end. So you've got a quality mode which has all the lighting effects and all the fanciness, and then you've got a performance mode as well. So yeah, fingers crossed it does look great, and plays great. Esky says the free to play game. So yeah, the finals. He said the open beta is tomorrow. Is that right?
Yeah, 26th of October.
How long is it on for? Do you know?
No, I checked it. I wanted to join the open beta, but for some reason it pulls me through to the Microsoft store. But I need to check it in later.
Is it just a download that's available to everyone?
Might be.
Could be. Could be on a download on the console. Yeah.
Might have to check it out. See if it's any. See if I get my arse handed to us online. Yeah, Pat, what did you think of the show as well? What's your pick of the show as well?
Well, definitely it's gonna be the Spirit of the North 2. That game's got me
intrigued.
Intrigued, yeah, definitely. And of course, the finals. It's a game I've seen before, and now I can play it myself, see how it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a pretty nice, solid show. You know, like I think, like Sean says, these are games that they're gonna show now, and not gonna show them on the big event.
Yeah.
But yeah, Metal Gear Solid might be worth to try it when it comes out.
Yeah.
Alan Wake 2, I'm not really into the horror games, but yeah, it's a good show. It's a good show. You got some nice titles there that definitely I want to try out.
Nice. And Baz in chat there says, gutted just watching the preview, thought RoboCop might have been on Game Pass. Trailer makes me want to buy the game now, though, fighting Ed 209. Yep, fair one. Is there going to be a lot of nostalgia there for people who loved RoboCop that will buy that game anyway? And I hope, and again, Digital Foundry have said it's actually quite fun to play, so that's what matters most.
One thing I think was better for the game is also maybe like in third person, you know?
Yeah.
Because the first person, you see RoboCop in the cutscenes and that kind of stuff, but to actually see the character by himself, third person, that would be cool, but unfortunate it's first person.
Do you know how old I am? I'm old enough to remember playing RoboCop on the Commodore 64.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Come on. I'll get your walking stick. Dear me. £27 on PC? God, that's cheap.
See, this is because we're coming into a digital age now, we need to start seeing these same prices.
Yeah, we do. We kind of digital age it needs to reduce because you don't have the distribution, and it will. As much as people who love physical collections, I think physical will go the way of what's that company that do the limited collectors ones?
Oh crap, what's it called? I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's oh god, I forgot what they're called, but they do this special prints of games that don't release physically, and they do we'll do
limited run games.
That's the one, limited run. I think personally in the future that's what we'll see happen to the physical side.
It's not even like the distribution things like that. It's the fact that 6-7 weeks later, the disc versions are cheaper, but the digital versions are still the same price.
Yeah.
Like now, if I wanted to go buy a digital version of a game that's 3 or 4 years old, I'm still paying full price. Whereas I can go to CEX or Game or Thingy and get that game so much cheaper. I could pay 10 quid for the game that I'm going to pay 60 quid on Xbox for.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like. I get why they don't want to do launch titles because they don't want to upset brick and mortar, but they should at least follow suit is when brick and mortar drop
even
or
then,
Amazon
I was going to say even then though for the brick and mortar, then you just all you have to do, and this is the thing that PlayStation have stopped doing, is they don't release codes. Like if they just release their codes to brick and mortar, like digital codes, then you just sell the digital codes. You can quite easily go brick and mortar and buy a digital code, like they used to. You still can.
Yeah.
Do that. Maybe even just do like a limited, like you say, a limited run, or you can buy a steel case and this steel, because that's really what people want to buy a physical for, is the actual case, just to say I've got the case, not to have the disc. The vast majority, a lot of games now require downloads for that, and they will in the future anyway. And the platforms, again, you can buy the disc. Oh yeah, it runs perfectly fine without the. No, it doesn't, because the vast majority of them have bugs and issues and performance things that need ironed out. So even if you can play it without a download or without a patch, it doesn't mean it's the best version of it, because we've seen this year specifically that it does, like even Spider-Man, as much as people are saying some people are having okay experiences, some people aren't, but there is no denying that there are issues with the game. Doesn't again, like me, I didn't have any issues with Cyberpunk at launch, but I'm never going to sit there and say Cyberpunk didn't have a bad launch, because Cyberpunk's launch was shit.
Yeah.
But I personally didn't have any issues, and I was lucky.
Same here.
But Spider-Man's in the same boat. It's nowhere near as bad as Cyberpunk, but there is definitely a large amount of people having issues with, and I've seen Uso Vin on Twitter, and he's saying I just want to finish the game now, because he's had 5 crashes, 2 just today, and he says it's the only time, and this is a complete to dash crash. The only time he gets it is when he's finished a main mission. Every time he finishes a main mission, it crashes the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like,
I mean,
there's issues. There's clearly issues, and if people don't have this patch, which requires you to be online, then these things will never be fixed.
Get fixed. This is what I'm talking about in terms of the cost of things. It's like, I'm on Amazon now. Dead Space, the thingy version, 30 quid to buy it as a disc. From Amazon as well, to get the digital version, it's 70 quid. Over double the price.
Yeah.
So why don't, you know what I mean? Why not have it in conjunction, you know, at least the same going down, so you can choose whether you're a digital buyer or a disc buyer, you're paying the same price. Why am I having to pay over double the amount?
Yeah. A premium. PlayStation's one of the worst for it, without shadow of a doubt. I got a physical brand new copy of The Last of Us for £8. The Last of Us 2, by the way, for £8 from Game.
Yeah, I remember you saying, yeah.
And it's still...
Digital games should be cheaper anyway, because you're not buying a plastic box, you're not buying a disc, you don't get manuals with games anymore anyway.
Yep.
So like, the cost of like physically putting that game on a disc in a box is gone.
Yeah.
Most people are buying digital in the UK. I'm not sure how that reflects in other countries, but I know the UK is like heavily on digital media nowadays.
Yeah, I think it's almost like 80%, if not higher now. I'm sure it arched to one point at like 90% in the UK was digital.
And the best thing about having a digital game is if the game becomes corrupt, you just reinstall it. You haven't got to go and source a new disc or repair the disc. It's just uninstall, reinstall, and you're golden. You can play again.
Yeah, exactly. Esky asks as well, does anybody think Vicarious Visions will get the chance to work on another Tony Hawk remaster? I think they'll probably more likely make a brand new Tony Hawk than a remaster. I think that's what Xbox would rather they do. As much as we'd like to see maybe a remaster of one of the other games, I think 1 and 2 were the with the ones that people remember most fondly. They remastered those to a really great degree. I'd probably rather them, much like Guitar Hero, do a brand new Guitar Hero and a brand new Tony Hawk. Maybe bring back some of the older things.
Providing they're faithful to
the original. Yeah, absolutely.
I think if there'll be a new Tony Hawk game, it'll be like one and done, and they'll just keep adding content to it.
Yeah. The one thing I liked about the remaster of Tony Hawk was how quickly it could get back on the board compared to the originals. Like, you fell off on the originals, it would take forever to get back on the board, and then you'd have to restart. And now it's just kind of just like zoop, and you just back up again. You're like, that's good. I like that.
I remember like unlocking the Spider-Man outfits for that back on PlayStation 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And he also asks, who do MS acquire next? Not a publisher. If anybody, it's going to be a studio. It's not going to be Sega anytime soon because they've said we don't want to right now.
A big Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah, hopefully it's Crystal Dynamics. I want somebody to save them from potentially having issues with Embracer.
I'd say they won't be buying any big publishers.
No.
Potentially small ones like Crytek could be a possibility.
Yeah. Well, Crystal, like you said, Crystal Dynamics is the key one, I think, right now. Crystal Dynamics, Crytek, someone like that, like studios. I think they'll just.
That's the thing. The Embracer Group are going for a bit of trouble themselves.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to look at selling off some assets. So that's a potential.
Yeah.
I just want them to buy anything or anyone that kind of fills a void in their portfolio.
Absolutely. I completely agree. Now, the one thing I did like about the ActiBliz purchase was the Toys for Bob acquisition. Because they've done amazing work on the likes of Spyro and Crash and things like that, and I want them to be able to work on IPs that aren't just them two. And I'm glad they're not going to be utilised, or hopefully they're never going to be utilised on Call of Duty anymore, because I think they do much better work, as we've seen with both Spyro and Crash, than they've been given credit for. So I think even if you put them on other Xbox IPs that have been left dormant, like your Banjos and things like that, I think that's what they need to be used for, I think, personally. So yeah. But other than that, chaps, we're going to kind of round out the show. It's been a good little show there. Nice and early finish for a change. Nice early start, nice early finish. But it's been great having everybody back on the panel here. It's great to see Jen again. It's been a while, Jen, and Shom, likewise yourself. Good to see you back. But let people know where they can find you.
Been a bit too long.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right. Needed that break, but it's good. And we're getting into that kind of the end of the year section now. We've got the charity streams coming up. I'm gonna have to prepare for a 24-hour gig again. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. But gents, let's get our outros going there. Jen, let people know where they can find you and what you're up to.
Yeah, I'm not really up to much these days, apart from writing me book and life stuff.
Nice.
I'm done with streaming for a time until I'm done with writing my book. That's my main focus now.
Nice.
So yeah, you just find me on Twitter, little @ handle under my name there. That's me.
Awesome stuff. And of course, if anybody likes playing Hunt Showdown, then hit up Jen.
Oh, you can definitely find me on Hunt. I'm going to be on that right after this.
Awesome stuff. And Shom's just bought a brand new LGC2. So, well, a brand new refurbished LGC2, but lucky for some. Let people know where they can find you, brother, and what you've got coming up.
You can normally find me at work, which is why I've not been on the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm either doing a 4 a.m. start or I'm finishing at 10 at night every Wednesday. It's a rare day off for me.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I am looking for new work, but I'm I don't see the point in moving sideways.
Yeah.
If I'm going to find a new job, I want to move up. I don't want to move sideways and do same thing, different location. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
So I'm finding that a bit hard at the moment. But yeah, when I'm out and about, you can find me, in fact, today, arguing with fanboys on Twitter.
Yay!
Which is actually quite a funny episode. Thanks AFC Paul for getting me involved in that.
Paul's forever looking for things like that.
I mean, to be fair, he didn't really get me involved. I just kind of commented on what he was talking about, and then this guy was just going on. He just completely changed from a certain YouTuber being hypocritical for complaining about a no-named site giving Spider-Man a 7,
yeah,
but not commenting on the hundreds of no-name sites giving it 100. And he kind of somehow turned that into why was Spider-Man with these fake bugs and people going after, purposely finding these bugs. I'm like, what? So yeah, thanks, Paul. But yeah, I normally lurk places like Twitter because I just 9 times out of 10 I can't be bothered getting involved, but sometimes I do feel a little bit feisty, and especially when you see a bad argument that you can just completely pick apart.
Yeah. But sometimes you can't argue with stupid, Sean.
No, sometimes you can't because literally it's so frustrating because they're not understanding what you're saying, or they're so convinced that they're right, and you're like, you're not making sense, and they'll just keep coming back at you at the same thing. It's like they were going on about the bugs that is it J-Rock was finding in Spider-Man. So I kind of said, well, Cognito, he found some progression bugs at the beginning.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like linked him to the Iron Lords podcast, and he was like, oh, well, that's just a Xbox fanboy site. And I was like, yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah,
like,
not at all.
Yeah. I said, Cognito is one of the most level-headed gamers you're going to find.
Yeah. King David's an Xbox fanboy, but not the rest of them. The rest of them are like PC.
To be honest with you, with King, I wouldn't even say he's an Xbox fanboy. I just think he likes to troll people.
Oh, yeah.
He does, and that's why it's funny.
Yeah. People think he's a huge Xbox. It's just he loves games. I don't think he cares where he plays them, but he loves to troll people at the same time.
Yeah.
He gets off on it, and that's what's so funny is people get so agitated and angry at him, and he's just having a laugh. He's just
the whole hold the line, advance the line thing was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. And it's like he's one of the funniest people I've known, and just having him on the podcast and being able to speak to both him and Cog is it's pretty cool. But you can't call Cog a fanboy. You can't call I can't remember the other two now.
Addict and Sovereign.
Definitely can't call Sov a fanboy.
It's a PC player. You know what I mean? So you can't call a PC player an Xbox fanboy. It's like the idiots that call Fatanga and no, it's Alex Xbox fanboy.
And they're PC fucking guys. Come on.
They don't own an Xbox. How can they be fanboys? With Alex, I don't know what his system of preference is. I think it's Xbox, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
I think he just loves to play everywhere, to be honest.
Yeah,
I don't really consider him like a solid on any side. He just plays on all sides. I mean, he was talking about Mario the other day on their podcast.
Yeah, exactly. And
he's just a gamer like most of us are. We're just gamers.
Yeah, they're all gamers. And as for the Xbox thing, they will come down on Xbox if they've messed up. The same with Xbox too.
Yeah,
like Jez and Rand will come down, especially with when they tried to raise the prices of Xbox Live.
Yeah.
All of them, like everyone came down on that so much absolutely. So that they reversed their decision.
Yep. So
anyway, I've kind of gone off on a tangent. Yeah.
It's all good. Last but not least, Patchu. Let people know where they can find you and what you've got coming up. You're streaming as usual, but you're streaming the same Call of Duty every day.
Yeah, every day. Every time Call of Duty, guys. Now, actually, I got some things coming up. As you guys saw, I won again.
Yes,
a new
you did.
headset.
Pat, I'm just going to link you to competitions for us. I'm just going to link you to every competition for me, and then if you win, we're good.
I'm gonna give you my Twitter account login details, my Instagram account login details, and you can just enter all the competitions. For me.
Right, Pat, just give us 6 random numbers.
Yeah.
Between 1 and 50.
Yeah, I'll put that on the lottery.
I'll send them to you. I'll send them to you. No, but
You win so much.
I won a Steel Series headset, the Arctis Nova 7X wireless. So yeah, I'm gonna see how
I've never
that
known
is.
anybody. You are the luckiest person I've ever met. I have never known anybody win so much as you have, ever.
Like every other day, I swear Pat's posting like, "Oh, I won this today."
Like,
I'm like, mate, I win nothing.
There's one other guy
very
on
good.
Twitter I follow, Darren.
Yeah.
I can't remember his handle. He went through a phase like Pat where he was just winning everything. I was like, is this a little bit of a con going on? Because every time I see, like, he won a gaming leather jacket, he won this and he won that, and I'm like, how
I know
did you win?
I know another guy also on Twitter, but I met him with the twins.
Yeah.
Justin
The
and
twins
Joshua.
used to be super lucky as well. They used to win everything.
They're still really lucky. But there's a friend of them, Giovanni Lim, I think is his name, and he wins so many things as well, man. It's insane. It's insane. But so yeah, like I said, I have this headset coming up. I might do a review of it. I want to compare also with these kind of headsets, the Nacon rig that I have right now. Also, I'm gonna start next Thursday with the campaign of Modern Warfare 3, because I can play a week earlier the campaign. So yeah, next Thursday I'm gonna do a stream on that.
Nice.
On Twitch, of course. You guys know where to find me.
Yeah.
And also I announced that I'm gonna do my own custom Xbox One X custom job. So, and that might gonna take a while, but also on that I wanna make a video of it, show the progress, what I'm doing, and that kind of stuff. So, you know, like, just want to share everything that I do with that.
Nice.
Because I have some wild ideas in my head, and it should be good. So we're gonna see.
Nice, awesome
so yeah,
stuff.
quite some things.
And of course, yeah, like I say, for us, it'll be standard for me next week anyway. So on the weekend, you can find me over on Twitch, streaming on Friday and Saturday. On Monday, back on YouTube for a gameplay live stream. Tuesday, back on Twitch. Wednesday, back on the podcast. So as usual for the next week or so, from the 6th up until the 12th is charity week. So of course we're raising money for Special Effect from the 6th until the 12th. On the 11th and 12th, that is the 24-hour stream. So I'll let you know what time we'll be starting that 24-hour stream closer to it. I'll decide what time we'll be starting that. But yeah, so it'll be a big push that week from everybody to obviously try and raise as much funds as possible for that. We've set a lofty target, but we've only got one charity this year as opposed to two. So 1,500 between all of us as streamers and things like that to raise money for it. So should be good. And hopefully we'll smash that as well. So other than that, I hope everyone has an awesome evening. And thank you for joining us for this preview and podcast. And we will see you all again next week. Have a good one.
See you later, guys.
Bye-bye.